Okay, all right. Today we're going to make a soup called Tom Yum soup. Tom Yum soup is a spicy soup from Thailand. Tom Yum soup can be made with basically the same ingredients, but you can change up your meat, poultry, beef, seafood. There's all kind of ways to make Tom Yum soup. Tonight we're going to make chicken Tom Yum soup. In Thai, chicken is gai. Anyway, I probably screwed that up. Anyway, we're going to make the soup. I'm going to pull out the ingredients and I'm going to show you what it's going to take to make it. Okay, these are the basic ingredients in Tom Yum soup. All right, here we got, this is called galanga root. Galanga root is similar to a ginger root, but it's kind of looks like a ginger root, but it is not. It's called galanga, and it's kind of got a sour taste. Of course, we got some Thai chili peppers, kind of similar to cayenne peppers. Then we got a little bit of lime and a little bit of tomato, 2 different kinds of tomato, some cilantro, and these little leaves right here, those are kaffir lime leaves. They're difficult to find. You really don't necessarily need them. I like the sour flavor of them. If you can find them, put them in there. If not, they're already in the Tom Yum prepackaged soup mix. And of course, we have some mushrooms, oyster mushrooms. You can use any kind of mushrooms you want. Of course, I've got chicken. This dish is going to have chicken. And Thai people traditionally like to use fish sauce. I like fish sauce. It's okay. Some Americans don't like it. Most Americans don't. So this is a substitute right here. You can use chicken flavored bouillon. And then we've got our Tom Yum soup mix. Now there is a special way to make Tom Yum anyway. I'm not going to show you that way. I don't know how to do that way, but I just prefer to buy the mix. This actually came from Thailand. I don't think you're going to find it anywhere, but I'm going to show you a little picture of a Tom Yum paste that you can buy it at the store, pretty much anywhere. If you just look in the Asian section, or if you've got an Asian store near, go and get that. Anyway, this dish is pretty good. It's well worth trying to make. It's pretty simple. It's just a soup. Remember, if you're using poultry or beef, always try to use bone in. The bone helps bring out the flavor, makes it nice and brothy, and plus you get all the nutrients out of the bone too, all the calcium. So let me get something started here. And we will proceed. Okay, first thing we're going to do, this is soup, so we're going to add water. About 6 cups. If you've got some kind of filtered water or filter on your tap, make sure you use that, because we are probably going to eat the soup. You don't want to drink tap water. There's already enough stupid people on this planet. We don't need any more chemicals. We're trying to eat healthy, remember? So about 6 cups of water. We're going to bring it to a boil. We're going to put our chicken in, and we're going to cook it. We want our chicken to stay in there for a little while, because we actually want that marrow, that bone marrow, to start coming out, since that's the healthy part of the soup. So we're going to let it cook here for a while. That marrow to start coming out. Then we're going to slowly start incorporating our other ingredients. Okay, while we're letting our chicken boil, I forgot one more ingredient, and that is lemongrass. Lemongrass, you can buy the whole thing and you can cut it up at the store. I mean, you can buy the whole stem at the store and then you can cut it up into pieces. These are what they look like. This is a sour soup, so we're going to use a little bit of lemon to get the zest in there. So while the chicken's cooking, I'm going to put this in here to incorporate the flavor. Also, we're gonna go ahead and stick all the galanga root in there so it kind of soaks into the chicken while the chicken's cooking. So we got our lemongrass and we got our galanga. And we're gonna put our coffee and lemon, which you don't really need to put in there, but if you can find them, get them and put them in there. They're sour, kind of similar to a lime tree, but I was told nothing like it, but to me it kind of smells like a lime. Anyway, put them in there and cook with it. And just let that sit there and cook for a while. Probably about 15 minutes, I guess, so the chicken's nice and done. Okay, now that the soup's been cooking for a while, probably about 10 minutes, I think, on high. Let's go ahead and start putting in our other ingredients. Put just about all of our ingredients into the pot. All the onions. Now this particular soup here is really just going to be for me and my wife, so if you're going to make it for more people, of course, just like anything, you need to add more ingredient, right? You know what's great about Thai food is you kind of really just wing it, you know? I mean, there's a basic ingredient, but they really kind of cook to taste. You know, if it tastes good, eat it. If it doesn't, add more stuff to it. That's what they always do. I like mushrooms, so we're gonna put a lot of mushrooms in there. The cilantro is for the end. Now if you cook the cilantro too soon, it loses a lot of its flavor. So the peppers, if you put them in there whole, they don't get as hot. I like hot stuff, so I usually put a lot of pepper in there. So we're just gonna put a few pepper in there now. Towards the end, I'm gonna cut some up and I'm gonna stick them in there because the longer it cooks, the more the heat comes out of the pepper. So we're gonna add all our ingredients. And we're not gonna use the lime until the very last. And we're gonna cover that up. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's tom yum soup. We need the ingredients. So we're gonna pour this in here. Now you can, like I said, you can make this yourself. You can look it up for the ingredient, how to make tom yum. It's a lot of work. I just buy the package. It's easier. We're gonna put that in there and we're gonna go ahead and stir it all up. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to add on my dish, we're going to put the chicken bouillon in there. It's a pretty big bowl of soup, so I mean a pot of soup. So I'm going to put a couple in there. So don't put more than 2 teaspoons of chicken bouillon in there. When it cooks for a while, you can kind of taste it, and then you can kind of add as your taste buds say, I guess. If you think it needs a little bit more, you put a little bit more. That's the good thing about Thai cooking, Thai food. When it's cooked, you taste it. You need to add more, you add more. All right, we're gonna let that cook for a while. Okay, well it's been cooking now for about 45 minutes to an hour. With soup, you can let it cook for, I don't know, as long as you want till the water doesn't evaporate, I guess. I say the longer the better. It boils all the nutrients out of everything. So what we're gonna do now is taste it. If you don't really like spicy food, I wouldn't recommend putting as many peppers as I put in there. Maybe just one or two, or none. I would at least put one in there. It is Thai food, by the way. So we're gonna give it a little taste. Yeah, it's pretty good right there. I'm gonna bring out the flavor by adding just a little bit of sugar. Also, if it's a little too hot, you can add a little bit of sugar. Kind of stabilizes it a little bit. But it brings out the flavor mostly. Now this soup is served over rice. That's about it, rice. What we're going to do now is we're going to add our cilantro. Put it in there. We don't want our cilantro to overcook because it kind of cooks out the taste. And if you've got a cold, mainly a hangover, you got a hangover, man. This right here, this will do it. This will get rid of it. But if you got a cold, typically any kind of virus, it's gonna get out. Doesn't want any part of that. And we're gonna squeeze a little bit of lime in there. You know, I got a tool for this. Hang on. I got this little gadget here. Saw it, had to have it. It's a little bit easier. Just stick it in there. And that makes it a little bit easier to get all the juice out. And you're not chewing on any seeds. Let's kind of taste it before I put the other half in there. Man, that is great. Put the last half of there. We are done. All I need now is rice, which rice, you get a rice cooker. If you're talented, you can cook it on the stove. I'm not really good at making rice, so normally my wife makes it, but rice cooker's pretty easy. So just make you some rice. And this thing's ready to serve. Okay, well, I think we're done here. If all possible, I would suggest actually pulling out the galanga root and also the lemongrass stems. Probably the chili peppers. You bite into them, you're gonna know it. Anyway, that's it. Pretty simple stuff. It's gonna taste great for dinner. I'm gonna surely impress my wife. That's really what matters, right? And I think that's it. All right, I appreciate it. See you next time.